Hey there, it's Rich from Newbie Prepping. Happy 2021. We haven't actually done a video in this year yet, for those people watching later on, whatever. Who cares, it's irrelevant now. So, I was going around on YouTube and I saw, in my recommendations, a commentary on Doomsday Preppers by Bill Burr. Two separate videos. There are other videos, but they're probably just re-uploads of the same thing. But I figured I might as well jump on the train, a little bit late, but the train is still there after all, so I might as well jump on it. Might as well make a reaction video because I know Bill Burr a little bit, not actually a lot, but from what I've seen of him, I really like his comedy. I love how he's got like a nihilistic view of everything, just like so like pessimistic about everything, but at the same time also there's like a little optimism in this pessimism of his. It's like it's really nuanced, and yeah, like he's so funny. If you take him at face value and don't ever think about it, then I guarantee you would get fully offended by this guy. But honestly, I think he's hilarious. And he did really good in The Mandalorian as well. So yeah, perfect. So I'm fully expecting to get absolutely roasted. I will say, I'm not a Doomsday Prepper. I'm going to go into this throughout the video because I'm sure I'll pick up on things and talk about it. I'm not like one of these Doomsday Preppers that has like a bunker and like has spent my entire life savings on prepping. I know some preppers would say, well then that's not even really considered prepping if you're not putting 100% into it and you haven't got a bunker, blah blah blah. We do different types of prepping. Just you can do you and I'll do me, okay? Awesome. Anyway, so yeah, let's watch these videos. The first one is uploaded on Freckled Productions. I don't know if that's his own YouTube channel, but it's just a 2-minute video, and we're gonna watch this one first. Go.
So I started watching that show. You know, those people who are prepping for Doomsday, and you're supposed to watch that show and I guess laugh at these people on some level, and I had to shut it off after 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. This is where the roasting begins.
And I was just like, this guy is right. This guy is smart. What he's doing is smart. It's smart to prepare for Doomsday. Not even Doomsday.
I'm not falling for this. I bet he's got some like he's making it sound as if like he's agreeing with the preppers and stuff, and like that he may even be a prepper, but like I bet he's got some sort of big punchline that he's leading up to already.
Doomsday, just for something fucked up to happen, because there's too many people, okay. And I think it's dumb to basically just be fucking sitting here, and your whole game plan is I'm all good if it's all good.
That's a good point. Okay, so I didn't expect that. I expected him to just go full force, like absolutely annihilate preppers. But yeah, he's kind of said what is essentially my belief is that like it doesn't have to be like a big doomsday thing. You can just prep for like a little thing that's going to happen, like any sort of civil unrest that can happen. That is what I'm primarily prepping for. I'm not prepping for nukes to fall on my country. I'm not prepping for a meteor to hit. I'm prepping for the day when something happens that causes society to break down, and then my bug out is when well, preferably before, but my last-ditch bug out will be when the hordes of desperate, starving people come roaming down my street, sacking houses. That's what I'm preparing for. Like whatever event, whatever it may be leading up to that sort of civil unrest, that's what I'm prepping for, to bug out from that situation. So I like that he's actually acknowledged that 42 seconds into the video, and he's acknowledged that like immediately.
Hey, what if chaos happens? Well, then I guess I'm fucked. That's what I've learned. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching these guys, and they're building these things in the ground, and you know, where they can stick food and all this type of shit or survive stuff and all that. And I don't have the space for that. I can't do it. So all I can do is go out, and I'm going to get 2 guns. One for those fucking cunts coming up the walk, and then my safety, my backup gun. The one when all hope is lost and I eat that last Fruit Loop, I just put it to my head. You know?
It's so true.
I would be ready. There's no, I'm too fucking old to learn Green Beret, jiu-jitsu, how to grow fucking plants, and I'm too fucking old. I'm too set in my goddamn ways. All right, I like,
understandable.
I'm one of those guys. I don't wait for the sales.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm so over this. Like, no matter what's going on right now, I would rather literally just die and just have it be over with. Because whatever is going on in the world, I just cannot be bothered to deal with it. So I'm literally just gonna end my life because there's nothing else to live for anyway. And honestly, if there was like a big, proper, massive scenario where it's like properly like a Fallout game, where like everything is just done, then I can understand. Like, there's not really much point in living on through a world like that, unless, you know, like in the Fallout games, civilization does manage to like rebuild itself or whatever. Then at least you've got something to live for. But yeah, like I can understand. Like, a lot of people would feel that way. They would rather just get it over with quickly, just be done with it quickly, rather than have to suffer through everything. It reminds me of this movie called The Road with Viggo Mortensen. I can't remember the kid actor's name, unfortunately. But the beginning of that movie, sorry if you've already seen the movie, and if you haven't, this isn't a spoiler. But at the beginning of the movie, or rather, maybe it's flashbacks, I can't really remember. But basically, they're surviving in their house for a while, and like, clearly a lot of time has passed, and the wife of Viggo, played by Charlize Theron, I think that's how you pronounce her name, she gets really, really pissed off with him and like hates him for like actually keeping her alive, and like the fact that they're actually surviving, which is like, it's something you never really see like in media, like apocalypse films and TV shows, like not even The Walking Dead. Well, maybe in some of the later seasons, I never watched them. But yeah, like she gets pissed off at him for the fact that they're actually surviving, and but now they're at a point where like they're really struggling to survive because they've run out of water and food and everything. They're just dotting around in their house doing nothing, and it comes to a head, and she literally just walks out without saying a word, and just walks off into the night, and like you never see what happens to her, so it's just assumed that like she's committing suicide by, I don't know, whatever Roman gang wants to, I don't know, shoot her or whatever and eat her because there's cannibals in this movie. But yeah, basically it's just assumed that she's like, her walking away from the house is her just being like, right, I'm done, I'm sick of this now, I just want to die. So yeah, it just, what Bill just said there just really reminded me of The Road. If you haven't seen that movie, you gotta see that movie. Any sort of prepper, like it's almost like V for Vendetta is to people who hate the government. It's like one of those films that you have to see, pretty much. Like if you're a prepper, watch The Road.
You know what I mean? That's my mentality. I need a coat, I just go out and I go fucking buy one. All right? I'm going quick here. I'm getting a gun. I'm shooting at people who are coming at me. And when I get down to my last bullet, I'm a fucking idiot. Why don't I just have one gun? Save some extra money. Just have one gun. You get down to the last, because I'll fuck it up. That's why. Click, 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 click. And then I'll have nothing left. And then when the zombies are coming in, what am I going to do? Just start smashing myself in the head with it?
All right, we'll stop at that video there. Yeah, there's only like 3 seconds left. Yeah, definitely. If you're in America, because it's a lot harder to get guns over here, obviously. If you're in America, definitely, yeah, just make sure you don't expend that one last bullet, because you're always going to be eating that yourself. At least that's what some people say and do anyway. Yeah, so there we go. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next video. I don't know if it's going to be pretty much the same, but it's a lot longer. It's like 5 minutes instead of 2, so maybe he says something different. So let's give it a watch.
And I was in the hotel, and they had a marathon on of those Doomsday Preppers.
No, already he seems a lot more...
they're all fucked.
he seems a lot more hateful.
Do you know why all those Doomsday Preppers are fucked? Is because they're loners. They might survive some initial shit. They might last a month. They might last a year. But they're just, instead of ripping the Band-Aid off like me and just getting fucking, blood.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely a continuation of the previous one. I don't know if it's the same podcast, but it's definitely, like, coming after it. Yeah, totally agree. A lot of Doomsday Preppers, specifically the ones that like put their entire life savings into it, unless they're with like a family, which a lot of them are, like they're like a family of preppers. Yeah, they seem very lonely, and their entire life is consumed with surviving after the world ends. So much so that they're not living in the now; they're living for a scenario that may that a lot of people think may not ever even happen, like a proper like doomsday apocalypse scenario. So like some people would say you're wasting your entire life prepping for something that might not happen. So like you've wasted your entire life since it hasn't happened or whatever. Like if a doomsday prepper dies before any doomsday happens, then it could be considered a waste. So yeah, I get it. That's why like newbie prepping, we are prepping, yes, but yeah, and we do like prep for doomsday scenarios and everything, but yeah, like we'll take it as it comes. And see, this is the point where I'm reconsidering my entire like thoughts on prepping. No, I'm not. No, I'm still going to be doing prepping and stuff because for me it's always been like a hobby anyway, because I've always wanted to go out and learn survival stuff and get more connected with nature and everything, and prepping is a good excuse to do that. And like I said, I'm more prepping for like the lighter side of things, like civil unrest, if you can consider that light. It's light compared to like a nuke dropping on our country and like everything going like Fallout style. Anyway, let's continue.
Bludgeoned to death within the first 24 hours. Or vaporized from something blowing up. That's my doomsday plan. My doomsday prepping that I do is that I live in probably the most dangerous city that you could possibly live in, as far as earthquakes, as far as the water supply, as far as the fucking inability to get the fuck out of there. I really should get a helicopter license and try to go on eBay and buy some fucking used chopper. Because other than that, I'm fucked.
That is one thing that preppers always preach about, is that you should, if you've got any sort of commitment to prepping, then it's best to get out of any big city, because of the exact reasons that he just gave there. Like if you've got a little bit more of a will to survive than Bill does, then best not to be in a big city like that, or buy a helicopter as he suggested, and I don't know, be rich enough to have your own building with a helipad on the roof. Then you got a nice little bug out situation there. But yeah, everything you mentioned, like a bomb dropping on it or like water supply going down, I suppose if you are nihilistic or if like you're just like over it, then being in a big city like that is a good place to just get killed rather quickly. And just to get it over with.
There's a piece that you gain from just being completely fucked. Is you just, what am I going to do?
That actually reminds me of a quote from the movie Dodgeball. And like the moral of the story is that you shouldn't live by this like mantra, but I find that it's actually very freeing. Like he says in the movie, what's the quote? It's something like, don't ever have any expectations in life, or don't ever set any goals for yourself in life, because then you can never be disappointed, because you'll never fail to reach a goal if you don't have one. That's not the exact quote, but that's pretty much what it is. And like it's a very depressing way to live, and like it means that like some people would say like you've wasted your life or everything, but like I find that if you can still kind of live by that mantra and still like have a fulfilling life at the same time. It depends how you look at it, really. Like, if you have no goals in life, then you can literally just go and do whatever you want, spur of the moment. But if you do have goals in life and you achieve them, then your life could be a lot better because you'll be making a lot more money and you'll be able to go places easier. And yeah, so it really depends on how each person, interprets that message. But I quite like that, what Bill is saying, and that quote from Dodgeball.
All right. Oh, I got a great idea. I'm going to sell a Doomsday Prepper kit for people who don't want to prep. And what it's going to be a beautiful locket that you wear. They'll have a male one. It's a little more masculine. They'll put some spikes on it or some shit. For male or female. And when you open it up, there's one little cyanide pill in there. There you go. You just off yourself.
That's
the doll is collapsing. Good. There's fighting in the street. You just pop it in there. And that's it. It's over.
Done. That's not too bad. I mean, because if you are a prepper, but you haven't done well enough, you're not as prepared as you maybe should have been, or your skills aren't good enough, and you're literally at the point where you've run out of all of your fire source, you can't gain any more, you've been trying to hunt wildlife or whatever for food and you've just failed miserably. That would be great. I mean, just as that backup plan, literally just having a backup plan. I'm not endorsing suicide. I'm not endorsing it. Okay, I'm just I'm just saying that if you've absolutely failed in every other measure, then maybe it would be a good idea just having that backup plan in a doomsday scenario. Obviously, I still endorse, obviously, that you should try and survive, and everyone should live as long as they can. That's my opinion, okay? But yeah, it's not a half bad idea. I'm just saying.
You want to live and be on dead body patrol?
Oh, God, yeah.
Going out there with your fucking ski mask on, having to bury all those cunts before they give out disease? Because that's what you're going to be doing if you survive. If you're a low-level human like myself, where you're really not bringing anything to the table, if they let you survive, if they decide out of the fucking blue to let you survive, that's what you're going to be. That's going to be your first fucking jobs. Other than getting naked and having throw fucking lye all over you.
I
Whatever
think he's talking about if you survive whatever apocalypse scenario and the government comes back in any way, shape, or form. He's saying that they would force you to be one of the people that picks up bodies. I first interpreted that as in a really bad pandemic situation, the one we're in right now isn't as bad as it could be. I mean, obviously, there's not dead bodies littering in the streets, but if in any sort of situation where there would be dead bodies on the streets, if it's an apocalypse scenario, like Fallout games, I know I keep mentioning them, but they're the best thing to reference. Something would need to be done about the bodies because there would be so much disease pumping out of them as they fester more and more and get more and more rotten. So that's another very good point, is that if you want to be a doomsday prepper and you want to survive this apocalypse scenario, then you're going to have to deal with the potentially millions of dead bodies. Yeah, that's just another thing.
Is that what they throw out? Lime all over you to get rid of the body lice. Your job, you're going to go out there in some sort of Tarzan fucking bikini bottoms with that powdered sugar all over you, and you're going to just start, it's going to be it. So my suggestion is either get some cyanide or learn how to operate a backhoe. Because other than that, if you survive, you're going to be standing there with a shovel getting a fucking sunburn that the modern world has never seen. Anyways, I'm watching this Doomsday Prepper thing, and they got all these guys doing this shit, and they got this one dude who's just, he's got fucking 3 years worth of shit. He's got flat screen TV. He's got all this fucking stuff down. I love the flat screen TV. That's hilarious to me. It's the end of the world, but somehow cable still exists. Somehow somebody is at the head of Cable Central, wherever that is, flipping the switch.
Okay. I think he's just doing a bit of a bit here, but this bit doesn't really make sense to me because I imagine that flat screen TV is there for watching movies that you've got like saved on a hard drive or something. The guy has probably torrented like 1 million movies and got them all saved on a hard drive. So yeah, but yeah, I don't blame Bill for this. It's quite an easy shot to take because obviously in a doomsday scenario, having a TV, there's not going to be any signal or anything being broadcast. So yeah, it is a bit silly in that regard.
So you can see the final 8 episodes of Breaking Bad. Despite the fact everybody connected with Hollywood is now gone. Except for Wesley Snipes. I'm sure he's got a bunker somewhere. Yeah, if you
All
get
the rich
balls and
people
not pay
do.
the government taxes, you definitely got.
Post Malone said in H3H3's podcast, big, rich, important people, they all have Doomsday Prepper bunkers, and they do parties and stuff where like they go over and like they try and compete to have the best bunker.
I've heard that all of the executives in Silicon Valley, like these like billionaires, what their new hobby that they do there is making the most extravagant apocalypse bunker.
Really?
Like they compete with each other to make the most extravagant, insane apocalypse bunkers out there, spending hundreds of $1 million on these houses.
It's not smart to do it in California.
Honestly, if I was super rich, then I would just build a bunker. Like, if it made no difference to my bank account because I was that rich, I would build a bunker. So I don't see why all these other people wouldn't build bunkers. I mean, rich people want to stay alive as much as possible because they want to experience the best things in life because they can afford it. So why wouldn't they build bunkers? So yeah, like that thing about Wesley Snipes, I bet he does have a bunker. I bet like a lot of the rich people, like Hollywood types, have bunkers too.
You have a strategy in place. Plus, just even if he didn't take martial arts, just the sword swinging alone that he had to learn, the choreography, that would scare the fuck out of most zombies and they turn the other way, right? So he's got all of this stuff, and he's sitting there talking
I'm not
about.
prepping for zombies.
He's still afraid.
Don't believe that could ever happen.
Of the Russians and a nuclear holocaust. He's been prepping for 30 years because that's basically what they used to scare the shit out of us about. I came in the tail end of it in the 70s. And this guy was older than me, so they psychologically fucked this guy up so bad that he was now, stockpiling this hole in the ground. And then he found out that recently declassified information said that the Russians had detonated some fucking, 200 megaton fucking something or other. The biggest bomb ever detonated, they did it. And he realized that he wasn't deep enough. So he went out and he bought this big steel fucking tube. And the whole time he's doing this guy is like 200 pounds overweight. And it's like, dude, you better deal with that first. Like, you're going to drop of a fucking heart attack before they drop a fucking bomb on us. And he finally addressed it. He said, I probably should get myself in better shape. Of course, he was sitting down the entire time. And even with the T-shirt on, the guy was so fucking fat, you could tell that he was finished. But so I actually liked the guy because he finally addressed the fact that he was out of shape and needed to do something about it.
All right, that's the end there. Okay. Yeah. We here at Newbie Prepping, we are not exactly athletes, and we know this. I did use the gym a lot back in the day, and I was in relatively decent shape, but I've let myself go, especially over lockdown. It is something we are trying to address. I am trying to diet more. Christmas didn't help. I know I'm coming up with all these excuses here, but yeah, when prepping, first and foremost, your health comes first. I watched a recent Canadian prepper video where he talked about this too, and it's like, when you're prepping, there's no point in prepping if you're so fat that you're going to die of a heart attack from before 40. That might be offensive to some people, but honestly, it's just true. If you're overweight, then that is going to be a problem for prepping because one, it's going to be a shock to your system whenever stuff hits the fan and you're not able to just go out and eat whatever food, like a delivery, takeaway food and stuff like that. And two, obviously, like you're just not going to be healthy enough to do the trekking that's involved, especially for us at Newbie Prepping. We're bushcraft preppers, and like we do a lot of walking, and I am glad to say that we do walk really far, and we don't get too tired. Because when we were both younger, we did do a lot of working out then, and so I think that like some of the conditioning has like carried over to our older years, even though we are a bit more portly than we were before. But yeah, like I know that Mark's on a diet and everything. He can do whatever he does, and I'm doing what I'm doing. Like I'm just dieting, and I did start the gym, but like the lockdown happened. Right now, I'm just trying to justify myself being a fatty. Yeah, I get it. I'm not like super fit or anything, but I am trying to work on it. So yeah, he's right about that. Bill Burr, like he's spot on pretty much about everything. I thought he was just going to completely and totally roast us, and I guess in a way he did with kind of in that second video more than the first one. But yeah, I can't disagree with pretty much anything he says. It just proves how smart the guy is. Like, he says he hasn't got a lot to bring to the table, he's a low-class human, but, like, I bet that this guy could be the leader of, like, I don't know, like, some sort of post-apocalyptic raiding society. He would be the leader. Like, he would be the one to get everyone else to forage food for him. Like, he's just that sort of guy, you know, I can see it already. I bet he actually is, like, a prepper in secret. But he's trying to like convince other people not to be prepper. No, not really. I don't actually think that. That's stupid. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought really good videos. I was expecting to be absolutely roasted, and I thought that would be pretty funny. But like, I think some decent stuff was said. Anyway, thanks very much for watching the video. It's probably run on a bit long now, but yeah. Subscribe if you want to. Like the video if you want to. Help us out. And yeah, happy 2021 again. Hopefully going to get some more videos out whenever we can, but the lockdown not letting us go more than 10 miles away from our house. And we can't even meet up with people in the woods because of the virus. Yeah, I've actually had the coronavirus, by the way. It really kicked my ass for 3 days, but then after that I was pretty much back to perfect health, apart from my throat was a bit scratchy, and my sinuses felt a bit full. So yeah, but I was confirmed with coronavirus. My wife took it a lot harder because of her asthma. Thankfully she didn't die though, so that's all good. We were all fine. So yeah, coronavirus does exist, just letting you know. And now you know someone who has had the virus. If you ever say like, oh, do you even know anyone who's had the virus? Yeah, you know me. Alrighty, thanks very much for watching, see you again, bye bye.